Muslim groups planning a Million Muslim March set to take place on the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. The reason? They claim they, Muslims, are the real victims of the attack.
We are standing this day to show Americans that we Muslims, we denounce terrorism, and we want to stand with the solidarity denouncing that heroic effect and event. The day of 9/11, we Muslims become villainized and victimized. And it's not us and them, it's we as Americans.
Joining us right now is Joe Connor, whose cousin was killed on 9/11, and his father was killed in a terrorist attack orchestrated by the group FALN back in 1976. 75. Thank you very much. Joe is also the co-author of The New Founders and joins us live here in New York. What are they doing?
Well, I think they're trying to gain publicity for themselves. I think there's a few reasons for this. If you go on their website, you'll see, donations is a big thing here. They're trying to get some traction. I think they also want to pick a fight with Americans when they go down there, if they put a march together, and that could justify their idea that their rights have been trampled on. And thirdly, I think it's like the Ground Zero Mosque, where they're using our own cultural icons, the World Trade Center, they put a mosque there, and now they want to take over the 9/11 and the marches that we've had over the years in D.C.
Well, you can see the moniker right there, Million Muslim March, although I read online that apparently
they've changed it.
They've changed the name. Now perhaps it's Million American March Against Fear. But according to Gateway Pundit, which is a right-leaning blog, right now only 57 supporters have signed up on their Facebook. So I don't know that it's going to be a million Americans. It could be dozens.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. I don't think that they're going to get a million people to show up.
You know what, Joe? They're calling for, though, they're demanding social justice. They want the president to release the 9/11 Commission report to the American people. Didn't we get the 9/11 Commission report?
Yeah, I thought we had. I thought that had been years ago, so I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. And the word social justice is a pretty scary thing when you think about it. I mean, that talks about the not giving. Social justice is about the end result being equal for everybody as opposed to the opportunity. In this country, you have the opportunity to succeed. The end result is not guaranteed.
Sure. It does seem that they're confusing what we're doing overseas. I mean, we're in a number of countries fighting terrorism that happen to have large Muslim populations, but it's not a war on Muslims.
Well, to think
it's a war on fanatic Islamists.
Absolutely. And look, I was there on 9/11. I went through the Trade Center that morning. I saw the planes hit. I saw people jumping. And for anyone to say that didn't happen, or the planes didn't hit, or it was the Jews, as they're saying, that caused it, it is so aggravating. It is so off the charts ridiculous. These people should be ashamed of themselves, and anyone who pays attention to them really should have their head examined.
Apparently, part of the mission of this group is to seek and to encourage and seek Muslim American candidates for public office and explain positions of other political candidates to Muslim American voters. You think they would be successful at that?
Well, I'm not quite sure they're going to get too far with that, to be honest with you. I mean, this whole group is saying that their rights were trampled on. The Americans have beaten them up since 9/11, and quite honestly, it's the opposite. After Pearl Harbor, the Japanese were interned. We have our president and Fort Hood saying he doesn't know why they did it. Meanwhile, the shooter was screaming Allahu Akbar as he shot them up. We know what's going on. It's Muslim terrorism. It's Islamic extremists, let's be honest.
I think your first inclination was right. They're looking for publicity because to have a Million Muslim March on 9/11.
It's ridiculous, Steve, and it's horrific.
It's their right, free speech.
It is. It's their right, and ironically, they'll have that right here. If they went to most Muslim countries, they wouldn't have that right.
Well put. Joe Connor, thank you very much.
Anytime.